Hello, this is the tutorial video for the meal planner that I developed. If you have not seen the videos on the functionality, please click on the link down below. Some of this may not make sense if you haven't watched the other videos. This is kind of a follow-up for those to kind of discuss the ins and outs on how this works and what you need to do to make it work for you. This is the information page. I kind of jotted down some information that'll help you as you continue through. I'm pretty much just going to go through this on what it means and see if we can figure out any troubleshooting stuff that may come up. The first thing that you will need to do if you want the buttons and some of the functionality to work is to enable the scripts to run. That's the first note here. The easiest way to do that is just to kind of go to one of the sheets where there is a button, like this, remove checkboxes, or even insert new recipe. But if you click on it, it'll ask you to authorize, or authorization is required. Just continue. You'll need to sign in to your account and then allow it. That will allow some of the functionality for these buttons, which is kind of an ease of use type of a thing. They're not required, but they're definitely helpful. Like inserting a recipe or removing the checkboxes after you've done so. So the second item, just to discuss, is this does work on your phone, but those buttons that I just showed, these scripts, they don't work on the phone. So you'd have to manually do everything as we go through this tutorial. When I click on a button, everything else can be done on the phone except for those. I don't know if Google Sheets is going to add that at some point, but right now it's not a functionality. If you haven't used Google Sheets before, it is live to everybody. So as I'm clicking through a recipe or changing things, my wife could be doing the exact same thing, and we'll see all that live update. Even if somebody's at the grocery store and somebody's at home, you'll be able to see back and forth what's happening. So number 5 is you'll be spending most of your time in the data and grocery sheets. Because the grocery sheets, obviously, this is where you pick your menus and where everything, your actual grocery list is output. And then the data tab is where all your groceries are, how much they cost. You can look up different ingredients and see where they're located or which recipes have these in there. Because it is internet based, there is always going to be a little bit of a lag. Yeah, that error showed up just because of that little bit of a lag. Number 6, when adding a recipe, use the units provided rather than changing it to another, meaning you can't have ounces of chicken and pounds of chicken. Everything needs to be the exact same throughout, and that's how we'll be buying it. So you can set it up however you want to from the get-go. Let's say you are using cans of diced tomatoes. Diced tomatoes, if you want to buy diced tomatoes by the can, you can do that right now. I have it set up as ounces because every can is a certain amount of ounces. And if I need, let's say, 4 cans that are, let's say, 12 ounces, I don't think they have 12-ounce cans, but it's an example. I would put 48 ounces of diced tomatoes. And when I go to the store, there could be different size cans, and maybe I will get a larger can. That as long as it equals the amount of ounces that I need. That's just a quick example. It's important for you to set that up, which is in the ingredients tab. It will go the ingredient, the ounce, or the measuring unit, how much it costs per that measuring unit. So like bacon, 29 cents per ounce. And then you can also add in a stock, how much stock of that item that you have. This little area right here is just kind of explaining what the colors of different colors of cells means. So these orange one are editable. These are your inputs, and this is where you change things. So you can see that color on the grocery list where you make your recipes, where you put in your new recipes. Ingredients, it's pretty much all orange. This is 100% editable by you. The templates, so this is where you pick like type of meat, this is where you edit just the orange. Now it's important to understand this because if you change something else, because I can't lock it in Google Sheets like I would want to, and with the functionality, locking it can stop some of the functionality, which is what I have found when I was using the Excel version. So make sure you're only editing the orange. And this system output, this color is generated output for your grocery shopping. This is, you do not edit these. Like I said, this will mess up a lot of the functionality. All of that is right here, and you'll see some of these codes. There's tens of thousands of characters in some of these cells, and you don't want to mess that up. So just keep that in mind, that none of this, you do not want to edit any of these. It's easily fixable unless it's like a full page wipe. So, I mean, feel free to come and talk to me. I'm live on Twitch every week. My schedule is on my Twitch channel, and I'll put that description or the link to the description below just so you have access to it. That's probably the easiest way to come talk to me, and you can do that live, and I can just help you out. Otherwise, you can email me, and I think you can message me on Etsy, because all this stuff, all my files and stuff are purchasable on Etsy, and you can just message me there as well, which and I'll get to it as quick as I can. These yellow cells, not with the, I guess, black text, this is meant for quantities applied based on the corresponding units of measurement. These are editable, so that you will find in the templates, these guys. Because that's beef, right? And then how many pounds. So that is where that's that color. And then the color here, the yellow with the red text, that is a cost. You will find on the data tabs to kind of output what cost is each one of these, how much it costs to make each one of these recipes. And then these just white cells, there's code hidden around. I mean, in here, there's not going to be, but just don't edit them. I mean, if you click on one and you see that maybe in the tab there's extra coding or something, it's there for a reason. So just don't edit those. So you have the orange and then the yellow with the black text. These are the only two that you should be editing. Other than that, you could screw up some of the functionality. Now let's go through the actual tabs themselves. The grocery list is where you edit your week's menu from the orange drop-down menus. You can see the output for your grocery list, and then you can add recipes from the grocery list tab. The ingredients, that's just where everything is housed. The ingredients themselves, how much or what unit they are, how much they cost, and then how much you have in stock. And to show you that, ingredients, ingredient, unit, cost, and then stock. So you can put in how much of an item you have, so that it will output what you need for your groceries and what you actually have to buy, which is on here. This is what you need for all your recipes, and if you have some in stock, it'll minus that stock on how much you need to buy. Your template, don't mess with the template. It is there to copy to make other recipes. So just leave that one alone. Your data tab will house your recipes in these different categories. Your measuring units, so you can add units into the orange. So if there's a unit that I don't have in here, you can add it. And it goes all the way down to 100. You can add more fairly easily, but that's kind of what it's set up to right now for dinner, lunch, breakfast, and side dish. And then my Walmart, Costco, and Fred Meyer tabs are for you to be able to buy your groceries online. And a lot of this, I'm not going to go into a lot of it just because it was, I kind of showed that in my initial video, but it works for Walmart, Costco, and Fred Meyer. Okay, so The first thing, because you're gonna get this and it's gonna be blank. I will have a few like just stock recipes in there just to kind of get you started. You can use them or not use them. That's up to you. But if we want to create a recipe, which is what you're going to need to do from the get-go, because this will, be honest, this is going to take some effort on your part to make this usable and be successful. And so the first thing you need to do is input your recipes. This is not as easy as my original, which I had a nice VBA program to do all of it. But Google Sheets does not use VBA. And so I had that functionality was unfortunately eliminated. And I did what I could to streamline the process. Anyway, so let's do a recipe name. So one thing you need to know about making these recipe name is sometimes I will type it in, but you have to make sure that you hit enter and you're off of that tab, because if you don't, it won't recognize the new name and it'll try to make a new recipe based on what was in there previously, and it'll either error, it will make a copy of the template and just don't do anything with it, so the script will break. It's not the end of the world. You can just delete that new copy of the template because it won't rename it and start over. So I like to just kind of click out of that box just to make sure that it is in there. And also because it is internet based, sometimes it takes just a little bit to update. Anyway, so insert new recipe. Again, you would have to allow the scripts to run. And so what it does is you can see now I have my testing recipe tab. So if you go to the data tab, it has made in side dish, it has made my testing recipe. I have nothing in there right now, so it's zero cost. And it takes you to a testing recipe tab right here. So now you just put in what ingredients you have. You can either select them from the drop-down menu, or you can start typing, like broccoli. Maybe there's some broccoli in this. And my unit that's set up is head of lettuce, head of broccoli. And so I would say maybe 6. I could go to condiments. It's going to be probably a really gross recipe as I'm setting up. Soy sauce, a quarter cup of soy sauce. And you can just go through and select all the ingredients. Maybe there's some meat in there. Let's say it's a pound of chuck roast. This sounds like a really good recipe. When you're done, you can do 2 things. You can just close it now. What I like to do is I like to include either a picture or a PDF or something in this box, so that if I need to have the recipe at hand with whether I'm cooking it, I can open it up on my phone and I can go to this recipe and see exactly how to make it instead of going into my books or my binders or whatever that have my recipes. They're just right here. If you can use the snippet tool. If you go to let's say to go to a website, let's say it's this one. So a simple way that you can do this is you can use the snippet tool. So you just find the snippet tool or snipping tool, which is pretty much on every Windows computer. You can hit new, and then you can copy your recipe just like that. And basically what it does is it's copying an image. And then go back to your recipe tab, and you can right click and hit paste, or Control V, and then there it is. And now it's in there, so that when you come back, you can come back to this tab and quickly and easily see that, hey, I have my recipe ready to go and viewable. And if I were to open my phone right now, it would be in there and ready to go in the kitchen. So that is how you add recipes. Then you can hit close tab, and what it does is it clears, it just hides it down here. So it doesn't clutter, and you don't have an infinite amount of of tabs down here. I do have a few others open from previously. This is one that I will leave in here for you, as well as the Hawaiian haystacks, just to get you started. But as you see, it cleans it up. And now you can see that it gives me a cost of $17.73 for that test recipe that I made. And if I were to go back to the grocery list and I would go to my side dish and I could pick my test recipe, and then it will update all of my information. So just gave me some 6 more heads of broccoli. I have my chuck roast in there now, and so it just automatically updates it. The other parts of this tab that you will want to know, since this is available on your phone, it allows you to, when you're at the grocery store, you can checkbox the things that you have added to your shopping cart. That way you can keep track of, oh, did I get this or did I not get this? And then you can quickly remove with this button, the remove checkboxes, and it goes through and just eliminates all the checkboxes. You don't have to go and click and unclick all of the checkboxes. And then after you've added your... So before I leave this tab, just a quick, you can... To pick your recipes, again, you can click the drop down menus and scroll through and pick what you want, or you can just start typing, like dinner. I can start typing chicken, and it reduces the amount of recipes that I can choose from. Maybe I'll have chicken Ritz, but you can do it in multiple ways. Whatever's easier for you. I tend to just like typing and narrowing it down, or if I know what I want. Otherwise, I can just click and just browse through the mass of recipes that I have in here. I think the ingredients tab we've kind of already gone through. The template tab, there's nothing important here other than what I've shown you. Okay, so the Walmart and Costco ones, you can see what the actual link is, but if you click on it, you can go to link. If you right click on any of these and say open link, it will open up a new web browser, and it'll search. This tab will search Walmart for lettuce, and then you can add it to your cart. If you want to do Costco's the same way. Right click, open link. You can. And then it'll search Costco, and you can add it to cart and have it delivered to you. And Fred Meyer is showing you that they all work. There's lettuce at Fred Meyer. And if you're signed in, and it'll... So the Walmart one, if you do it on your phone, it will, if you have the Walmart app installed, it'll ask you if you wanted to open it up in the Walmart app. And if you say yes, then it will open it up and search in the Walmart app for you. Another thing that you can do if you want to select multiples, so chicken, pork, chicken tenders, lunch meat, you can open... Wait, I don't think it... There we go. Open links. It will open up all of the links. So you can do multiples at one time. And it's super handy. And all you got to do is just go through and say add to cart on all of them, and it'll just keep filling up. You can add it, close the tab, and it will just keep filling up your cart for you. That's pretty much how you do it. The biggest issue, the biggest hurdle that you're going to have is adding all your recipes in here. Once you get those in, this thing will work like a breeze. So you can share this with friends. You can put in their information. Just type in a email address, and you can send it to friends. They can join and make a group of people that can all add recipes and utilize the spreadsheet. So that's pretty much everything there is to explain about the Google Sheet. If you run into an error, please feel free to email me. Like I said, you can go through Etsy. I can give you the link to my store is going to be in the description below. And feel free to contact me anytime. I'm open to help you. But I hope this helps you and your family and friends or whoever you are